Have you ever felt like success is always one step ahead? Like you're doing everything right, but the breakthrough just won't come? Maybe you've seen others stumble into wealth while you quietly wonder, when will it be my turn? Let me tell you something. There are moments in life when the universe isn't ignoring you, it's testing your patience, sharpening your focus, and waiting for the right frequency to match your energy. And that frequency? It's coming. This June 29th and 30th, 2025, not in the form of a lottery ticket or a lucky break, but through 6 powerful numbers, born from a cosmic blueprint and rooted deeply in the quiet wisdom of Buddhist philosophy. These aren't random digits. They are signals, vibrations flowing through a rare celestial event that merges the logic of ancient numerology with the energy of the universe itself. Each number is a doorway. And when you recognize them, your mindset shifts. Your path clears. And you finally begin to receive what's truly meant for you. Buddhist teachings remind us that clarity doesn't scream, it whispers. And often, it shows up in subtle ways, repeating patterns, coincidences you can't explain, numbers that follow you around. These are not just moments of curiosity. They are messages, invitations to wake up. And right now, the universe is speaking louder than usual. As we approach the final days of June, a rare energetic harmony is forming, a channel where desires meet intention, and wealth becomes a reflection of inner readiness. So here's what I invite you to do before we go deeper. Take a conscious pause. Set your intention. Feel it. Believe it. Then, hit the like button, subscribe to Story Path, and comment this affirmation below. I am aligned, open, and ready to receive. Because if you stay with me until the end, I'll also reveal one bonus number, a number considered sacred by ancient monks and modern mystics alike. A number that has changed lives by accelerating transformation, healing blocks, and bringing real-world abundance where it's most needed. So, are you ready to stop chasing luck and start flowing with it? Let's begin. Let's take a moment to explore something that's hiding in plain sight, a number you've seen your whole life but probably never paused to truly understand. The number 10. To most people, it's just a round figure, a score, a countdown, the final step before we restart the cycle. But if you're tuned in, really tuned in, you'll start to notice that 10 carries a vibration much deeper than just digits. In spiritual life, especially through the lens of Buddhist thought, 10 doesn't just end something, it elevates it. It's the number that whispers, you've come far, and now you're on the edge of something new. As we step closer to June 29th to 30th, 2025, the energy of 10 becomes more than symbolic, it becomes alive. This moment in time holds a quiet spiritual current, a soft surge telling you, it's time to evolve. Not only financially, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Look at your recent journey. Not just the highlight reels, but the behind the scenes, the silent discipline, the late nights where you kept going, the quiet belief you carried even when no one else saw it. Those weren't wasted efforts. They were seeds. And 10 is the signal that they're finally ready to bloom. In Buddhist practice, we learn to honor the full circle of life, pain and joy, chaos and stillness, growth and rest. 10 holds that same sacred balance. It marks the turning point, the moment after learning and before leaping. A space to stand still, breathe in, and realize that the struggles you once saw as detours were actually divine directions. Let me ask you something real. Have you ever felt like you've been climbing uphill for far too long, carrying invisible weights? Facing setbacks that made no sense? Wondering when your turn would come? If you have, then 10 is your message. It's not the fireworks. It's not the applause. It's the gentle breath of the universe saying, you've done the work. Now get ready to receive. Imagine standing at the edge of a forest you've walked through for hours, maybe even years. Suddenly, the trees begin to thin. Sunlight breaks through. You hear water flowing in the distance. That feeling of arrival, of nearing peace. That's what 10 brings. And now, it's inviting you to revisit those dreams you put on hold. The idea you buried under fear. The risk you talked yourself out of. The new beginning you once told yourself it was too late for. This time, look again. Because 10 doesn't demand urgency. It simply offers clarity. It doesn't force action. It opens a door. And the question is, will you walk through it? Buddha often reminded us that every beginning is born from an ending. Likewise, the number 10 reminds us that our hardest cycles weren't punishments. They were preparation. So breathe. Reflect. Ask yourself, what chapters are closing in my life? And what new ones am I finally ready to write? Because when you live in tune with the essence of 10, you don't just chase success. You magnetize it with peace, purpose, and presence. Now let's move forward with a number that doesn't hide in shadows or wait to be found. Instead, it enters your life with presence, vibrant, creative, and full of purpose. This isn't just a digit in a sequence. It's a living, breathing energy that shows up exactly when you need to remember who you are. That energy is number 3. Picture this. You're in the middle of a regular day. Maybe stuck in traffic, answering emails, or just trying to keep up with life's nonstop pace. Then out of nowhere, you feel something shift. A random idea strikes like lightning. A stranger's kind words break your tension. You catch a moment of beauty. Sunlight through the trees, music in the background, and suddenly, life feels more vivid. That's the spirit of 3 at play. It's spontaneous, expressive, and filled with light. 3 isn't here to whisper gently in your ear. It wants you to listen with your whole soul. It pushes you to speak up, to share your vision, to take that idea you've been sitting on, and finally do something with it. Whether it's a voice that says, start that blog, reach out to that person, or express how you really feel. That's 3 stirring your spirit. In Buddhist wisdom, 3 is more than a coincidence. It's symbolic of deep balance, mind, body, spirit. These aren't separate forces. They're one, working in harmony. When you're truly in alignment and walking the Eightfold Path, 3 reflects right thought, right speech, and right action. These are not just steps. They're tools, sacred instruments to live with clarity and power. And when you embody them, your energy becomes magnetic. June brings with it a rare clarity, an energetic space where the universe is more responsive than usual. It's the perfect time to move from hesitation to action. Number 3 is the reminder that your true expression is your power. It's not about performance. It's about presence. So feel this number deeply. Let it guide your expression, your choices, your truth. You don't need to change who you are. You just need to return to who you've always been. But with more honesty, more courage, and more light. If something in this message touched your heart, I invite you to support our shared journey. Click the thanks button and consider a $5 contribution to help Story Path continue bringing these teachings to others ready for their own awakening. Now, let's talk about a number you might scroll past without a second thought. 37. Simple? Maybe. But in the realm of higher consciousness, 37 is anything but ordinary. It's like a low-frequency hum. You don't always hear it until you slow down enough to feel it. A subtle yet powerful signal from the universe whispering, you're not meant to keep living this way. Let's be real. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to fall into a life that looks normal on the outside, but feels numb on the inside? You're doing everything right. Meeting deadlines, showing up for others, putting on a brave face. But beneath all of that? A quiet emptiness. A sense that your potential is locked away somewhere inside, waiting for permission to rise. That's where the energy of 37 enters. Not with a shout, but with a sacred nudge. In Buddhist thought, this number is a signal of spiritual discomfort. Not suffering in the painful sense, but that deeper ache of realization. I am more than the version of me I've been pretending to be. 37 doesn't come to validate your comfort zone. It arrives to disrupt it. It's the moment you finally admit to yourself that you've been dimming your light just to keep things predictable. But growth? It doesn't bloom in predictability. It grows in the cracks. In the unknown. In the parts of your life that scare you a little, and inspire you a lot. This number often appears when the soul is done waiting for the right time. It's a cosmic checkpoint. A mirror reflecting everything you've ignored. Your dreams, your voice, your truth. And it's asking, when will you stop shrinking to fit a life that no longer fits you? So here's my challenge to you. Look inward, right now. Where have you been silently tolerating dissatisfaction? Just to avoid change? What parts of yourself are whispering for air, for space, for freedom? This is not the moment to hide behind routine. This is your opportunity to speak from the gut. To write down what you've been afraid to admit. To say out loud, if you must, I'm ready to live with more truth, more power, more intention. Because 37 won't just drop clarity into your lap. It invites you to co-create it. Through honesty, courage, and alignment. And if you feel even the slightest stirring in your chest right now, that's no coincidence. That's the signal. That's the call. And you're awakening. Trust it. And take the first step. Let's turn our attention now to a number that often goes unnoticed. 28. At a glance, it might seem ordinary. Just another date on the calendar. Just another even number. But when you pause, really pause, you'll see that this number holds a story of quiet strength and sacred timing. Think of someone who never seeks attention, but whose presence changes the atmosphere the moment they enter the room. Someone who doesn't need to speak to make a statement. That's the energy of 28. Not loud. Not flashy. But deeply rooted and unwavering. The kind of power that isn't rushed, because it doesn't need to be. In everyday life, 28 shows up for those who've been staying consistent. Even when results feel far off. It reflects the moments when you're working hard behind the scenes. Unseen. Uncelebrated. But never unworthy. It's the energy of tending to your goals like a gardener. Nurturing them daily. Trusting the process. And knowing that all growth begins underground. Before anything blossoms above the surface. The 2 in 28 speaks to harmony. The dance between you and the world around you. It's a call for emotional intelligence, partnership, and connection. A reminder that you're never truly doing it alone. In Buddhist wisdom, this reflects the concept of interbeing. The truth that everything is connected. And our journey is enriched by the relationships we cultivate. Then comes the 8, a number that practically vibrates with karmic energy. It symbolizes abundance, not just in wealth, but in purpose. And in the impact you leave behind. Together, 2 and 8 form more than just a number. They form a message. You are exactly where you need to be. The fruits of your devotion are on their way. But they also whisper something deeper. You don't have to go at it alone. In Buddhist practice, the Sangha, your spiritual community, is essential. No one reaches enlightenment in isolation. Your path becomes lighter when you walk with others who see your light and reflect it back to you. 28 is a sacred reminder of that truth. So ask yourself today, who do I need to reconnect with? Who am I meant to walk beside during this season of growth? Because when your vision is combined with aligned relationships, your success doesn't just grow. It multiplies. And it blesses more than just you. If you feel that this message spoke to you, if it stirred something within, then help us continue spreading these teachings across the world. Click the thanks button. And consider making a $5 contribution to StoryPath. Your support helps share this energy with others on the same journey. Rippling wisdom across the world, one soul at a time. Let's talk about a number that doesn't grab. Number 18 doesn't grab attention with noise, it speaks in stillness. At first glance, it might seem like just another figure. But when life quiets down, when you begin to really feel instead of just think, 18 begins to reveal itself. Not as a number, but as a messenger. Have you ever felt like you're running hard but getting nowhere? Like life is happening in slow motion, and you're dragging something invisible behind you. Old stress, regret, pressure, or fear? You're not alone. That heaviness isn't all in your head. It's stuck energy. And 18 shows up like a mirror, reflecting what you've been carrying for far too long. In Buddhist teachings, true change doesn't erupt, it unfolds. It doesn't slam doors, it opens windows. The energy of 18 is like a breeze sneaking in on a silent afternoon. Gentle, but transformative. It nudges you to ask the questions you've avoided. What am I holding on to that no longer supports me? What pain or pattern has quietly become my normal? And most importantly, am I willing to release it? Picture your life as a garden. You've planted dreams, hopes, intentions. But over time, weeds of fear, clutter, and outdated beliefs have crept in. They don't shout, but they grow. 18 doesn't bring the storm to clear the field. It brings the gardener's hand, inviting you to lovingly clear space for what actually wants to grow. And here's where it gets personal. June 2025 is not just another date on the calendar. It's a doorway, astrologically, emotionally, energetically. This period is vibrating with release. The kind that doesn't leave you empty, but finally makes room for what's been trying to reach you for years. Maybe it's a new financial path, a calling you've ignored, or simply a clearer version of yourself, lighter, freer, and focused. The power of 18 doesn't lie in what it gives. It lies in what it teaches you to let go of. And once you let go, really let go, watch how fast the universe fills that space. A friend brings unexpected news. An opportunity appears. That thing you've been visualizing? It begins to move toward you. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. That's 18. Here's something we forget in our rush to get rich or find success. Receiving requires space. If your mind is full of noise, if your heart is tangled in the past, how can clarity, opportunity, and wealth enter? You don't need to try harder. You need to release smarter. Number 18 isn't loud. It doesn't promise overnight miracles. But it shows you where your power truly lies. Not in force, but in flow. Not in holding tight, but in loosening the grip. In trusting that letting go is not loss. It's creation. So let this number be your quiet signal to breathe deeper, to clean out the energetic clutter, and to make room. You are not stuck. You're just full. The number that comes next carries the energy of fresh starts, untapped potential, and new pathways. But none of that can arrive if the old is still occupying your space. Take this moment to reflect. Comment below. I choose to release and receive. If you've been waiting for the right sign, this might be it. The bonus number, the one that changes everything, is getting closer. But first, let's unlock what's next. Before we wrap up, let's explore something quietly powerful. A number most people ignore. But those who notice it often look back and realize, that was the moment everything began to change. That number is 34. Don't think of it as just a random number flashing on a screen, or printed on a receipt. Think of it as a gentle knock from the universe. A soft but persistent reminder that something inside you is still waiting to bloom. 34 isn't flashy. It doesn't scream for attention. Instead, it waits patiently. Like the moment just before dawn, when the world holds its breath, and the air feels sacred. That's the energy of this number. Quiet. Grounded. Transformative. You might see it pop up when you're not even looking. 334 on your phone in the middle of the night. Seat 34 on a bus. Page 34 in a book you randomly open. And while it might seem like nothing at first, Buddhist wisdom teaches us that nothing is ever just random. Life speaks in rhythms, in echoes, in numbers. But only if you're paying attention. So what makes 34 so special? It's a call to action, disguised as coincidence. It's the universe whispering, "You're ready. No more stalling." This number holds the energy of forward movement. Not rushed, not chaotic, but intentional and steady. It asks you to look at all the excuses you've been holding on to. I need more time. I'm not good enough yet. Maybe later. And then it gently asks, but what if now is exactly the right time? On this channel, Story Path, we often reflect on how clinging creates suffering. And we don't just cling to people or possessions. We cling to fear, to comfort, to doubt. But 34 breaks that cycle. It pushes open the door and says, step through. Start the project. Speak your truth. Leave what's no longer growing with you. And here's the most freeing part. 34 doesn't expect you to be perfect. It doesn't demand that you have all the answers. What it does invite is sincerity, presence, and the courage to begin again. Even if your voice shakes. It may appear when you're considering a big leap. Or maybe when you're simply trying to reclaim joy. After a long stretch of struggle. That's when it nudges you, not with fear, but with freedom. The essence of this number is simple. You don't have to force success. You just have to stop holding yourself back. And when you do, the world responds. Your energy shifts. People begin to notice. Opportunities appear. Not because you chased them, but because you finally aligned with who you truly are. So if you've been waiting for a moment, a message, a sign, a reason to move forward, this is it. 34 is your permission to grow, to change, to rise. And the next time you spot it, wherever and however it shows up, pause, smile, say, thank you. Then do the thing you've been afraid to do. Because that's how transformation begins. Not with noise, but with one quiet choice. To listen and to begin. As we reach the end of this journey together, take a moment, not for the world around you, but for yourself. No phones. No noise. Just one deep breath. That reaches beyond your lungs. Into the quiet place within you. That's been longing to exhale. Let everything you've heard today settle. Not just in your mind, but in your energy. These numbers, these ancient codes, aren't just pieces of information. They're invitations. Subtle reminders that even in your moments of doubt, you are being guided. Not by force, but by flow. So if something stirred in you, a sense of calm, a spark of inspiration, or just a quiet reminder that you're not lost, you're exactly where you need to be. Honor that feeling. Support the space that supports your growth. Click that like button. Subscribe to Story Path. And share your moment of alignment in the comments below by writing, I trust the signs. I am ready to receive. Be kind to your thoughts. Be patient with your journey. And until next time, walk gently. Stay aware. And keep choosing peace. I'll see you in the next video.